Hello Year 1 and welcome to your learning today for science. I'm going to talk you through your learning. So your mission objective, so that's your learning, your learning intention or your we are learning to understand that magnets only attract certain metals. Okay, so we've got some words there, so they're just your keywords I want you to be using and have an understanding of through the lesson, and that I'll be able to tell me what those mean or what they are. So you've got iron, non-magnetic, magnetic, steel and copper. Okay, and there's a scientific skill there, identifying and classifying. We'll do that with a little experiment as well. So, how could you separate out this pile of rubbish into different types of rubbish? Is there anything that could help speed up the process? And like I said, pause and have a think if you need to. Okay, so your keywords are iron, which is a grey magnetic metal. Non-magnetic is not capable, so it's not able to be magnetized. Okay, it's not magnetic. Basically, non-magnetic, it's not magnetic. Magnetic is the property of attracting certain metals, so anything that's metal. And then your steel is a light silvery magnetic metal made from iron and other materials as well. And then copper is a bronze non-magnetic metal. So it's not magnetic, okay? So there's your keywords. So magnets have a special ability to pull metals towards them using their magnetic force. Okay, so when metal comes towards them or something that is magnetic, you can feel the force or almost stick it to it. Okay, so magnets are often made of a grey metal called iron. There's some examples of what iron is, so that grey metal. If a metal can be pulled by a magnet, then we say it is magnetic. So if it does stick to it, then it is magnetic. So magnets cannot pull all metals towards them. So even if something is made of metal or of some types of metals, that doesn't mean they're always magnetic, okay? So metals and materials that cannot be pulled by a magnet are called non-magnetic, not magnetic basically. Okay, so there's some objects there, even though that key is metal, whatever metal it's made of is not magnetic. So all materials that are not metals are non-magnetic. So plastic, glass, cardboard and stone are all non-magnetic. So they would not stick to a magnet. Okay, they're non-magnetic. We can test if a material is magnetic by bringing a magnet close to it and to feel and see if there's a pull. So as you can see, there's somebody here testing these two objects, and he's tried it on the what looks like a foil tin tray and then the scissors. And you can see on the foil tray, it didn't really move. He was just touching it and it wasn't sticking to it. However, when he tried it on the scissors, it was sticking. So which of these objects do you think are magnetic and which do you think are non-magnetic? So which ones would stick to a magnet and which ones would not? Pause here, have a think, write your ideas down, draw them, put them in a table or in a Venn diagram, any of those ideas or your own idea to show, and then I'll show the answer next slide. There you are. So the fridge, the paperclip and the spoon are magnetic, but the jar, the teddy and the rocking horse are non-magnetic. Hopefully you got that right word, and if you did. So iron is a grey magnetic metal and it can be pulled by a magnet. So if I had a magnet here, it would pull it, it would stick to it, it would attract it. Steel is a magnetic silvery metal and it can be pulled by a magnet as well. So far iron and steel are magnetic. Now steel is magnetic because it is made from iron, but it's also made up of some other materials. But because there is iron in it and iron is magnetic, the steel is also magnetic. So copper is a bronze-coloured metal. So you might have seen some copper wire before, or pipes. It is a non-magnetic metal and it cannot be pulled by a magnet. Okay, so even though it is a metal, this metal is not a magnetic metal. Okay, so I'm going to talk you always through this video and you'll be able to hear it. So he's talking about magnets attracting certain things. So he's got 3 examples here, metals that are magnetic. So we've got iron, cobalt, and nickel, 3 magnetic metals. But also steel magnet that we spoke about because it contains iron, which is magnetic. They're found all around us and they're really good for separating things. So remember we spoke on the slide at the beginning about a scrap heap, there's lots of different objects. Well, sometimes we use magnets to separate out those materials. So there's ways that we play with some objects that are a mixture of magnetic and non-magnetic. He's going to use his magnet, pop it in the tray and see if anything sticks to show that it is magnet. So let's have a little look. So the plastic in there, nothing sticking. But this key is magnetic. So it's stuck to it. So that is magnetic. Stuck to the magnet. Now he's trying another one there. Good rummage. Ah. Okay, he's got another object, some jewelry or a hair clip there, and that is magnetic as well. So there's the picture of the image. When we want to separate things, we can use magnets to separate them just like we have in that channel. Okay, next video, again, I'll talk over because you won't be able to hear the sound, so I'll do my best for you. So magnets come in all different shapes and sizes. So there you saw an object of magnets. There we've got some more magnetic objects. Okay, we'll skip through. So what your skill is you're going to be classifying materials by testing them with the magnet. So it's a little experiment for you. So you are going to use a magnet if you've got one at home, or something that has a magnet on, something off your fridge if you can. And then if this is only if you can do this at home. Okay, so don't worry if you don't have anything at home, because there are some sheets you can do that I've attached. But you can use a magnet to see if anything sticks around your home, and then decide if it's magnetic or non-magnetic. So I'm going to skip through. Going to tap the objects to see if they're magnetic. So, what do magnetic materials have? Can you think of times when this might be useful? There's some few key questions to support you there. And then continue to see what happens. So pause here to do the experiment, and then as we move on, so here we've got some paper, sponge and wood, and it shows you there they shouldn't work, so you can test and double check that. Then we've got a paper clip which should work, an anchor which don't think any of you will have, but there you go as an example, and then some iron, so any objects that are made of iron or certain metals should stick as well. Okay, so your assignment, your mission, okay, you're going to test different materials to see which ones are magnetic, and then you're going to classify them. So that just means you need to be able to identify which ones are magnetic and which ones are not. You have to almost sort them and say that is magnetic, that is non-magnetic. So what do the magnetic materials have in common, and why do we need to use magnets? So they're your two key questions as well. And then again, we've got our words: iron, non-magnetic, magnetic, steel, and copper. Have you been able to use those? Do you know what they are? Okay. So these are some career questions. So if you want to go into something to do with, so what jobs use magnets, and how can magnets help you work with metal? Enjoy your learning. I look forward to seeing it. And remember, there are some supporting sheets to help you. Okay, some like this to circle which ones are magnetic objects are and which aren't if you cannot do the experiment. And there's also a supporting sheet there to help you with your experiments, so you can record on there. Good luck and enjoy.